we can all share in your wisdom, Leanne.
Oh, great.
Right, hiya everyone. Thank you so much for getting on tonight. It's lovely to see so many of you on. Callie would have been hosting, but you're lumbered with me instead because she's got this big event in Marbella that she forgot about. How she forgot about that, I've got no idea. She's asked for the lovely Leanne to come and talk and share some of her knowledge, and of which, guys, we hope you've got a pen and paper because she is absolutely phenomenal. She joined the business just before I did, and she's been an absolute machine. She's Club 24 now, are you, Lee?
Yeah,
Club 24. She's NMD, National Marketing Director, which used to be the top position in the business. So she's absolutely smashed it, and she's got an amazing team below her. Your sort of background is quite. You hit STD really quickly, didn't you, in your first month?
Yeah.
You absolutely stormed it. Then you took a bit of time away from the business, and then you came back, but your upline had disappeared. That is the story for so many. So your upline had disappeared. So one of the first things, I've had that experience as well, but one of the first things I'd like you to share with people is really, how did you get back into it? Because we joined a business because of that upline. So can you imagine coming back and having no upline there? I know Callie took you under her wing, but what was that like? How did you sort of get that going again and build the momentum? Because you hit STD and then left.
Yeah, well, when I hit STD, I wasn't really doing it the way I do it now. I didn't know what I was doing, okay? When I first started, I literally copy-pasted everything that my upline Emily at the time told me to do.
Yeah.
I copied her statuses. It wasn't really fun, but I loved it. My first wage was £600 and I was landed. But then I went through shows with my daughter still. But I just couldn't deal with it. I was going through a lot of depression as well.
Yeah.
So I was still there. I still posted and I done things, but I didn't reconfirm. My upline wasn't there for me at all. I just felt lost. You need somebody, especially when you first begin. Yeah, so I didn't reconfirm. I totally lost my mojo. I just thought I can't be bothered, and I just got myself in a rut.
Yeah.
And I just remember one day I was just sat in my living room, and I remember Carly, she hit IMD. It must have been October, November time.
Yes.
And I remember thinking, £14,000 bonus. Is she for real? I was like, bullshit. I just thought, no, this ain't right. But I was really in a bad place and in a lot of debt, and it does get you down.
Yeah.
So I can't practice. I'm having it. And I was just that's obviously what I'm going for now.
Yeah.
But so I remember messaging Carly, and I must have done her head in, honestly, because I was up and down, but she kept me on track.
Yeah.
If I said to her, "Oh, I'm going again," she'd be like, "Well, go on then. If it's not for you," straight to the point. You know what I mean? So I was like, "No, I'm doing this." So yeah, it took me. I must have come back in November, and I signed up my first downline Louise Penny.
Yeah.
And working with her really gave me that buzz again. It wasn't just me anymore. I was working with Lou, and she was going for SDD, and obviously I was going then for SC, but I was still trying to reconfirm the 2 months SDD as well.
Yeah.
And me and Lou, it was just me and her for I think till December, and it was brilliant.
Yeah.
And then I thought, this is what I need to do. I need to build my team, because I found that was it was good for me. I made new friends, and
Yeah.
In the January, I actually hit SC.
Yeah.
It just changed for me from there. I started building my little team, and that's how I got back into it. But it wasn't easy. I'm not going to say, when you take that time out, you literally start all over again.
Yeah.
I basically lost my customers from that first month because I didn't look after them.
Yeah.
So I had to get my head, focus into it really. And that's how I done it. And to be honest, I was so happy when I hit SE. That was it. I was full form, and as you know,
I going SC.
Yeah, and then every 3 months I was hitting my next position, my team. At one point, and this was early on, I had 8 PB legs.
Wow.
When I was, I think, I don't know, might have been SSE maybe, but I had 8 PB legs and I was just like, what's going on? And it's just amazing. Team building is essential for me. I just love having a team.
You do work well with your teams though, and one thing it is, I mean, I know what you mean, you just get that buzz, especially month end when you can see all of your team that are your downlines that are going for those promotions, and you just want it as much as they do, don't you? It's just such a buzz. So building that team is really important, isn't it?
Definitely. I wanted more for them, to be honest with you, sometimes. Yeah, I think I do. But they appreciate me as well. Like Alyssa sent me some flowers the other day, and I'm just like, oh, it's really, we're really close, and I really enjoy it.
That's really important. And I know you've touched on a few things there that, and I know we're on a public call, but you touched on a few things. You've had a lot of personal stuff going on in the last 12 to 18 months. And I mean, I hear many people say, I haven't got time, or I want to cook dinner for my husband, or I want to spend time, doing this, that, and the other. How did you stop those excuses? Because that's what they are. You joined the business because you want something, you want a goal, you want financial freedom, you want time with your family, and then slowly some of these excuses creep in with people. So you came, you smashed it, then you went away, you had to start again. How did you stop those major problems in your personal life, like creeping in and stopping you doing the business because you haven't let it?
Well, I was really depressed, like I said to you earlier, and basically I had a choice. I could carry on being the way I was, sitting in the house, drinking all the time, getting myself into debt. And my daughter's behaviour as well wasn't helping, but I wasn't helping her either because I was in such a bad place. And it clicked to me, I've got to change my life, and this, I just felt like this was the way forward.
Yeah.
And it honestly, this business, I always say this, has saved my life, I think, because I was on antidepressants for about 5 years before I joined the business. 6 months into the business, I came off them. Yeah. And I remember I joke about that this was my antidepressant, Juice Plus, because it has changed my life. Yeah. And it was changing my life every single day. And my focus was Caitlin. I wanted to change her life as well. I wanted to be strong, because if she can see me being weak, how is she going to change and stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, well, you've thanks for telling us all that. You are everyone. She is smashing it. If you're going to follow someone, follow Leanne, because she is absolutely smashing it on a. You do. Don't be modest now. She's absolutely killing it. So, on a sort of daily basis, what do you make sure that you do? What's your daily mode of operation? So that we've got a lot of new people on the call tonight. So what do you look out for and make sure that you do every day to keep building?
Right. Every day I always tell my team, well, first of all, I'll tell you what I do. When I wake up in the morning, the first thing I do is check my reports, see where we're at with my team, have a little look who needs help and all that. Then I always post like a motivational quote, or like your shakes, your capsules. There's a few people actually on my team that ain't on plan. I haven't been brilliant lately, but I do try to post like a picture of my shakes or my capsules and just say, how amazing you're feeling that morning. I think it's very important. If you're going to sell a product as well, that you should be on plan, because like I said in the beginning, when I actually started, I didn't have a clue what I was doing. So I find that knowing about the products definitely helps. Yeah. I try to post at least twice in the morning, about 3 times in the afternoon. Sometimes I go a bit crazy and I'm like posting every hour, but that's probably so stressed at work, and I'm like, oh, Juice Plus. So I tend to at least 3, 4, about 8 times a day I'll post. I always never ever post, like one after another. I see a lot of people doing this because I got a status chat as well for all my new. So like all the guys going for SDD and stuff, I'll put a lot of testimonials in there. Yeah. And I see people posting one after another, like every few minutes. But you need to be spreading these posts out. You need to be reaching different people throughout the day. I also go on to my post as well and put a little heart, or I like my post a few hours later, because it actually goes back up on people's news feeds. In the night, I'm more like I catch up with my team. I make sure they're okay. I do message my direct downlines every morning, you know, just to see what their pay line is. Well, I know what their pay line is, but, you know, how they go in, what's their team's pay line like. And we set goals. I think it's good every day to set goals.
Yeah, absolutely.
And sorry,
carry on.
I was just going to say, I've changed the way that I actually work as well now. I noticed like a decline in my orders because at one point I think I was getting 30 plus orders every month. This last year, since I hit NMD, actually, I've been getting 5 and 10.
Yeah.
Which it didn't bother me, okay, because my team were getting the orders.
Yeah.
So, you know, that was, as long as I was getting some orders, I needed like customers to work with.
Yeah.
But I noticed that my team started declining recently. So I went back to the beginning when I was smashing the orders in. And we've changed the way we work now.
So what can you give a bit of, again, because there's a lot of new people on here tonight. So when you say you go back to basics, what did you do that you weren't doing at NMD? Because you do tend to get focused more on the team as you get as you go down the line, but you still need those orders yourself. So what did you do to focus going back to basics, and how did that work for you?
Okay, testimonials. So I absolutely love testimonials. If you go back to my page, like September when I hit STD in 2014, and then like the first few months, sorry, 1 second. It's in my bag. Sorry. Sorry. Yeah, so when I was smashing these orders in, my page, like, I know we shouldn't look like we're robotic and we should show that we've got a bit of character, but I think I sort of went really personal, more personal than, you know, business. So this, I put it to my team as well. Let's do more testimonials. Let's just see how that works. So we've been doing it, and my team orders have gone up like, oh God, this last week over 100, and everybody's saying it's because they put in these testimonials up. They're obviously getting the interest of people. They're inboxing them, asking them about that particular plan. Mm-hmm. So so this month my page has basically just been testimonials. I am going to get back on plan properly. I've had more stuff delivered today, and then I will be personal in this, you know, I'll also be recording what my weight loss is or how I'm feeling as well. Yeah.
So what would be your top tips for getting new customers then? And how do you turn those maybes into yeses? Because that's what maybe a lot of people will struggle with.
Turning those maybes. I don't tend to give them, let them give the last answer. You know, I've got to have the last word. I know it sounds, but in a polite way. If they say to me, first of all, it's so important. I hate spiels. You know, these ones where, like, they write them out, you just copy and paste. I hate it. It's just a pet of mine. I know a lot of people do it because I used to do it, but for me, it's never worked. Yeah. So I tend to find out about that particular person. So I'll ask them, you know, what are their goals? You know, find out if they can eat 3 meals a day and what their budget is, and you can work from there. Because I think too much information, kind of like, you know, most people will just say to you, I'll get back to you. Yeah. I don't like that. So I'm like, oh, here's my number, you know, you're going to feel amazing and just really excited about it. Yeah. Don't wait too long because you don't regret it like I done, stuff like that. Yeah. And you can guarantee, just by building up that little relationship, giving my phone number. I know some people wouldn't be comfortable doing that, but I give my phone number so they know that I'm there as well all the time. So if they've got any questions, they can speak to me on the phone if they want. I've had a few people ring me actually lately from doing that. Yeah.
I think it's important though, isn't it? That excitement, but also once you go back to that, almost putting the ball in their court. You tell me what your budget is. What's your goal? What do you want to get out of it? They're owning what they want to do. And if they tell you it's £5 a week, then they can't argue then when you go back with a plan that's £5 a week.
Definitely. And I don't like to come across as a salesperson. I want them to, you know, that I care then, that I'm coming across as I do care what you want to do. You know, I don't want to put somebody, I don't want to say you need the goal plan, but they can't afford it. Because when I started, I could never have afforded £90 a month. Yeah. You know, so I don't put that pressure either. I don't want them thinking, okay, so the best way to lose weight, or is to be on the goal plan. We shouldn't be doing that. So like, I do give them all the options if of the packages.
Yeah.
But I give them all. You know what I mean? I start at the top, yeah, I do, and then I work my way down. But I always let them know that all the plans are amazing.
Yes.
But and we will find one that's going to suit you.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Well, hopefully you've all found that great as far as the customer's concerned. Now moving on to the recruiting, because again, we thought she was a demon with the customers. Now she's a demon with the bloody recruiting as well. So what's your top tips for recruiting?
Recruiting's always been a funny one with me because, like I said, Louise Penny was my first one, and then in January it just all kicked off for me. But it was because I think I had 70 customers that in that January I hit SE, and I basically hounded them all. Anyone that was doing good on plan, I just hounded them. I was like, "You're going to be amazing. You should really join my team." You'd have the usual excuses: "I haven't got time. I'm working full time." And this, and I'd be like, well, I work full time. I tell them just everything, the truth, because it is the truth. We have got time to do this, but people just don't actually believe it. And it turned out I was really, really lucky, to be honest with you. I had Amy, Sara, and Sharon. They were a couple of my first ones, and they were smashing the plan. And because of that, I think that's how they became good distributors as well. They're my 3 strongest legs now to this day. But yeah, I think you really need to approach your customers. They're definitely the best ones to go for.
Definitely. They believe in it, don't they?
I didn't have much of a story then either. Obviously, as my business has progressed, and I have had like crazy amount of bonuses and wages, I've used that to my advantage as well. I don't really brag. But I bought my car, the little things like that, just like how Juice Plus has changed my life. If you haven't got much of a story now, you can just say, like, if you're at home with your children, how spending time with them while earning so much, money from your phone, things like that really do attract people.
Yeah, definitely. And okay, when you do get them on board, what do you do with them? What's your first sort of touch with them as far as becoming a distributor is concerned? We've heard some people go and just tell them to go out and get orders, and other people try and coach them through different things. So what do you do with your new distributors?
No, I like to work close to them. So I'll always add them into my status chat, my STD chat, but more than anything, I work daily with them on a one-to-one basis. Even though they're in this chat, sometimes, when you like first start a business, you can be quite shy. So I find that working one-to-one with them is really good. If they want me to phone them, I'll phone them. I do help them, like what to post and everything. If they're not on plan, I even send them stuff. So like I'll send them a pouch of shakes, or I don't know, boosters, anything for just them to advertise that they're doing it as well.
Yeah.
And then, when they get to their first promotion, because they do it, the promotions pretty quick in my team as well.
Yeah.
They can buy their own shakes and stuff then. But no, I do work with them like on a more one-to-one. I don't really want to spam them with too much information either.
Yeah.
So I do always advise them to open a separate Facebook other than their personal one. And I hate negativity, on your page. I'm like, just keep it separate.
Yeah.
I can literally write so much on my Facebook. I keep on shutting my other Facebook down because I'm just like, Leanne, why are you even writing that? It's crazy. But, yeah, I just like to work with them on a one-to-one.
And what about those that maybe are taking, remember now, Leanne, I took a year to get to DD. So be careful with your answer. With those that take slightly longer, for whatever reason it might be, what do you do with those to keep the momentum up and keep them enthusiastic?
It is hard. There is actually a girl in my team now I can just think on top of my head, and she's amazing. She's been stuck at DD for like probably about a year as well, but her pay is amazing. I look at her and I think, what is she doing wrong? Why isn't she getting customers? Why can't she build a team? And I think it's confidence. Like, you know how nervous I was about coming on this Zoom. I hate it. But you've got to get out of that comfort zone. You've got to like be confident, be happy, because the minute that you're feeling down, you'll also drag everybody else down as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it would be hard. I you know, if I was in that position, like I've been stuck at NMD now for 8 months. That's the longest I've ever been stuck in a position. But I'm happy. Do you know what I mean? I just try to keep everybody in my team happy. And if there's like a lot of negativity, I try to take that person away from my training group and just be, you know, more just one-to-one with them. You know, less look at what you're doing. Let's have a conversation. You know, if I'm buying off you now, tell you write to me, and usually you can see that it is confidence.
Yeah,
you need
absolutely.
To be, and you can. The more you do things, the more you're like a little bit cheekier, and you know, you do build your confidence as well.
Absolutely. Do you do a lot of telephone calls? You know, I mean, I anyone who does message with me knows that I do a lot of voice notes so that they can hear that I'm a person behind the Juice Plus page. And a lot of potential customers, I actually phone them because I prefer to do that as opposed to just message. Do you do that a lot? Do your team do that?
I know my team like doing voice notes because I have them off them a lot. But I don't actually like doing them because I've got a lot of Scottish and Irish people. And they write back and they say, I can't understand you. I'm like, no. So I'm just like, no, but I know they're brilliant. They do work and they had a lot. It's more personal again, isn't it? You know, you're not just something, you're actually striking it up. But yeah, it's totally pointless trying to speak to somebody from Northern Ireland when you've got a Welsh accent like me.
Yeah, very true. So if you had to give just your top tips for success, and that's with recruiting and with customers, what would you say your main actions would be as it's someone coming into the business and someone who may be stuck at SC for a while and going back to basics like you said? What would your top tips be?
Well, every day, you know, make sure you're adding new people. When I target a lot of groups, so I'll target like young mums. Then I'll target. I look at the, you know, like if you hashtag weight loss, you find loads of people like moaning about weight and stuff, and like then I'll add those people. When somebody accepts my friend request, I go into them and I add like 5 or 10 of their friends. And I keep that momentum going all the time. You need to be consistent with adding people. Yeah. I remember once I did an ad for about 2 weeks and I've never been so quiet in all my life. You do really need to be bringing new people onto your page. Being consistent, you know, make sure you post every single day. Even if it's like 5-6 times a day, spread them out as well. Try this testimonials, you know, try posting more of these testimonials because it is really working for us. I'm not saying that, you know, because it works for me, it's going to work for anybody else. But I think if something's not working in your business, you can't get customers, you can't get teamies, you need to change something, you know, and sometimes it can take a while. But, you know, like you were stuck at DD for quite a while, and I'm assuming you probably, you know, you changed a couple of things to get where you are today.
Totally. I mean, I remember I had my ping moment when I was in hospital after my operation last March, and I sat there and the doctor actually told me to continue taking these supplements. They were like, oh, they're brilliant. They saw me taking them. And that was my moment because I my scar healed within a couple of days, whereas before it had taken like weeks and weeks and weeks to heal. And I smashed SDD by myself that month with 200 friends on my list because I was just like, this shit works. I really like this. And it was completely a change of mindset as opposed to anything else I was doing. It was just me believing in the product and believing in what could happen. That happened, that I let go of that negativity, and I just thought, you know, we need to let people know fruit and veg is good. So that's what I did. I hit SDD, and that's it. Is mindset, I think, most of the time.
It's a turning point as well, I think, when you hit SDD. It's amazing.
It might have been all the drugs inside me as well. I'm not sure. It could have been that as well. Who knows?
Well, I'm not drugs, okay? But yeah, you know, yeah, be happy. Be positive, because it comes across as well, I think, in the way you speak to people if you're not feeling, you know, happy and positive.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, listen, Leanne, thank you so much for sharing your story and your tips. If you listen, ladies, this woman is absolutely amazing at the business. Like I said, follow her. She is really an inspiration. She's had so much to deal with, and she hasn't let it be an excuse. And I think that's one of the biggest things we all need to do, is to stop letting little things become an excuse. Watching EastEnders, watching Coronation Street, that you have got time for the business.
Yeah, that's not going to change your life, is it?
No,
if you want to change your life, get out there and do it.
Exactly. And what you'll find is, if you put that effort into it, every single one of us is going to get to the top of the business. Every single one of us. There's no one that can't make it. The only people that can't are the ones that give those excuses and give in to them. So, Leanne, thank you so much for your time. It's been lovely speaking to you again. And I hope you all enjoyed. Have a really good evening, guys.
See you in tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye.